This is it. This is the one that counts. Welcome to the World Series of Poker Trap. Wow. Wild.
Feeling broken down, bleeding, not quite defeated. Searching for the answers, but not yet believing. Look in the mirror, don't like what I'm seeing these days. Needing the meaning to this life that I'm leading. Time to release all the fear that I'm feeling. Reaching out for someone who really sees me. Now I'm every day winning. I won't stop till I succeed. Not until I find the need to survive.
Welcome to the World Series of Poker 2026 main event, where we're going to get into everyday winning Miles' run in day one. But first, let's cut to an interview where our friend, the main event champ from 2025, Michael Mizrachi, joins the vlog for the first time this year and tells us how he's become quite accustomed to
everyday winning.
That's right, everyday winning for Michael Mizrachi, winning another bracelet this year and absolutely crushing. So as we get started on our voyage, day one of the main, let's hear what Michael Mizrachi has to say. This is it. This is the one that counts. The only one that counts. $10,000 buy-in. Main event. Most important tournament of the summer. At the end of the day, all the other tournaments go up in smoke if this one goes the way that we hope. Here we go. I will come to you with table draw, my take on the players, and some hand breakdowns very soon. Here we go. 685, seat 6. The World Series of Poker main event, folks. We're going in. Into the sea of poker players, all wanting to win $10 million. Let's do this. 685, seat 6. So as I'm gearing up for day two, and I'm actually doing my research on the players coming into day two, I just want to give you guys a little bit of sense of who I was playing against on day one. And so I'm going to show you some of the images, and I'm going to do some audio overlay on some pictures so you guys can see who I was playing against. And the main reason is this. The main event, day one especially, is all about your table draw and all about how you play against each person, because it's so many hours of playing and there's so low blinds and so many chips. So you have to figure out, one, how to survive in advance, put chips in a bag, but two, how to figure out how to extract value from the right people when you make hands. And more importantly, figure out who you can move off of hands. So I'm gonna do my best here to give you a little bit of visual of what I could grab from our table, just so you can get a little sense of the table. Just gonna run through a quick overview of everybody as a whole. Seat 1 was solid, playing really well, had chips when we got there, wasn't getting out of line too much. Seat 2, this was the older gentleman. You'll hear me talk about him as the nit, played maybe handful of hands all day and raised very few. Seat 3, recreational player. She was quite tight and solid and did not get out of line. And in fact, she, pretty much had it every time she bet. So this is another player that is really nice to play against. Seat 4 was the young Asian gal, and she was the one who 5-bet ace-10 and made a really big punt, but wasn't as crazy as we thought. And then that impacted kind of how we played against her as the day went on. And those are the first 4 seats here. So I want to start here with Ren Mai Lu. He's the first one I want to talk about just to do our quick profiling. This is the guy that's in seat 9. He has the most earnings at the table. He's got a little over 1 million in earnings. You can see that on the WSOP app when I look it up. And we need to look him up on Hendon Mob because sometimes there's going to be things that don't get tracked on there. This player is clearly experienced, accomplished, and in fact has a bracelet. But what we discover throughout the day is that he likes to play fast and he has a hard time when he doesn't have chips. So we ran into numerous spots with the stack where he was gambling and trying to put a lot of pressure on. He tried to bully seat 8. It's quite the calling station. We'll talk about him in a minute. And the way we play against this guy is we need to make hands and we need to trap. But also he's going to be intelligent, somebody who's been experienced with poker to know how to play against different opponents. So we will be able to bluff him at times. But again, throughout the episode, you'll hear me call him the punter just because he was attempting to punt off his chips in numerous spots. I go ahead and do seats 7 and 8 at the same time. You can see Stanislav is on my immediate left. He's actually from Colorado, near Denver. This gentleman was solid. He knew how to play. He knew all of the pressure he needed to put on people. He's also capable of laying down aces on a king, queen, jack board, seemingly correctly against seat 1. He correctly called seat 4. Asian Gal's 5-bet jam with queens and won a huge hand there. But I will get into in just a minute the biggest punt of the day was by him, the second biggest earner at the table. I'll get into that hand, which was king 5 on an 8-8 X5 board. Player to his immediate left. This is the guy you'll hear me talking about earlier, who I said was a non-believer. He is a player that we're trying to get value from and make chips. And we can't necessarily assume he's going to barrel and bluff, but he will call us down in some spots. This is one of many absolutely wild spots where you see Stanislav getting all in for 35,000 at 400 big blind with pocket queens, and is up against the 5-bet jam of ace 10 off. Main event's amazing. You're on the dinner break of the main event. 53,200 chips. Started with 60,000. Blinds are going to be 300, 500, 500 in the next level. We've got an hour dinner break, and then we play for another 2 more 2-hour levels. So 4 hours of gameplay, and then 1 more break. So yeah, I mean, just 5 levels in a day, so you just one hand at a time. And the key is just put chips in the bag every day, and don't stress about, every day is just a small piece of a huge tournament. It's like the first leg of the marathon. So feeling really relaxed. Key hand, best fold. King 10 suited. 500 big blind, call, raise to 1100. We go 5 ways to the flop. King 9, 7, 2 clubs. We have king 10 of spades, 1 spade on the flop. Guy C bets. 4,000 into the field. We fold, it goes raise, re-raise to 10,000, fold, call, all in on the turn. Okay, why are we folding top pair after calling to raise pre-flop with king 10 suited? Here's why. It's a 5-way pot. This guy's betting into everybody. He's a rec player. He's not bluffing. He's in early position. We're not playing this hand to flop top pair and get a bunch of chips in. Also, there was a very clear live read that this guy was strong. We end up set of 9s, scoops a huge pot. Other player had queen 10 of clubs for a gutter, and there's everybody wants to be on the vlog. Let's go. It's funny. Anyway, I tanked for a while, put a live read on. We have top pair. We can't be blowing off 4,000 chips there. We also don't want to fold the best hand, but that was not an easy spot. So that was another one of the key hands of how do we have 56,000 chips when we only won 2 decent-sized pots? Not easy. Welcome to the World Series of Poker Trap. We try to get thousands of people all out of 2 giant rooms through this freaking hallway. This is where we hope to run into some of our friends so we can actually catch up with some people. But anyway, good start. Feeling good, feeling zoned. One of the dinner break moves I love when I'm not loaded up with stuff in my room or if I don't have people in town that can grab a spot at a restaurant, which is literally impossible unless you leave before the crowd, is to go right around the corner to the CVS and just load up on fruit and little meat trays or whatever you can get, and Gatorade and water or whatever, and then just crush it the last couple levels, and then decide when you want to turn to caffeine, if you do turn to caffeine. But I try to avoid it, and since I don't need to play tomorrow, I can go pretty hard on the caffeine because I don't have to worry about waking up tomorrow. Just finish strong. 4 hours. It's like I said, not to be cliche, but everybody knows this tournament is a marathon, and as long as you keep putting chips in the bag every day, survive in advance, the hands will come. And feeling very confident about everything today. Feel really good about my table. I got a really good table draw. I've got 2 established players. One who's got a little over $1 million in earnings. Another guy, Stanislav, I think his name is, just under $1 million in earnings. So I'm 3 in total earnings at my table, and I think I have more than the rest of the table combined times 4. You know, amazing table draw. So we had a lady at the table, which you saw the end of this young, cute Asian gal. She 5-bet jams ace-10 offsuit in the main event versus an under-the-gun raise, and 4-bet. Woo! There you go. Almost bit it. So yeah, World Cup, Mexico versus England. Anyway, yeah, that's what you see in the main event. Heroes on day 1. Let's go. Here we go. We're gonna hop in and just give you a little bit of a quick glimpse of, this is the media over here doing their thing, and the sea of people, cash tables, ESPN. I am showing you this hand to explain why we do not get out of line even against the rec players in the main event, because when they hit a hand, when they play a hand, they want to see the river, and they don't want to fold. They don't want to fold if they're folding a lot of their cards, and if they have premium pre-flop holding and they connect with the board. So this is one of Renmei Lu's attempts to punt all day long, punting his chips off to my neighbor from New York on my right. King 10-7 Jack. The main event, day 1. King 10-7 Jack. You watch these hands where people get cooler and they get knocked out. This is not a cooler. Renmei Lu has King 8, top pair, the straight draw, and this guy calls him with Ace King. 1 pair, draw, 1 pair to draw. Anyway, I just want to make it clear that this is a minefield. Renmei Lu actually, in retrospect, actually made quite a good play because he's supposed to get him off of some hands, but pretty maniacal semi-bluff on the turn. Full double up in the main event. Remind you, $10,000 buy-in, 2-hour level, 60,000 starting chips. Anyway, this was my table. It was a punt fest. Ace-10 5-bet jam. King 8 ripping it in. I haven't got to the King 5 debacle of Stanislav. We'll get there. Are you ready for this? This is roving hand history from the main event feature table. Take you guys on a walk. Okay, so the key hand from yesterday was, okay, we only had a couple really decent sized hands, but one of the key hands that I want to get into was playing, there's Ian Matakis is on the other feature table. There is one more feature table. It's got Jeremy Osmus, Ian Matakis. I'll give you a close-up of that in a second. So we have Ace-10 in the big blind. Guy raises under the gun +1, 3 callers. So we have to play this hand pretty cautiously because of where he's raising from. But like I said, with these player breakdowns, this particular player was he was very, he was a payoff artist. He was a non-believer. And so this is seat 8, payoff artist, non-believer. So we have to value bet this player relentlessly. Not necessarily a bluffer or a blaster. We have to get value. So ace 6-5 flop. Way ahead, way behind. Ace is good or it's not. We're losing to most of his legitimate aces from early position. Some people will open ace X suited, but then even then, ace 5 and ace 6 connect with ace X. But generally speaking, from his position, we're losing to more aces than we're beating. Ace Jack, ace Queen, ace King. So we check call, he bets big. And two things about him betting big here is that we want to control the size of the pot. That's partially how I navigated through no cards and getting through, that many hours of day one of the main without getting any hands and without getting hands won at showdown. So the way we control the size of the pot with our one pair hands, it's different against different players. But here what I do is I check call, he bets too big. This guy's can be c-betting too many hands, check call. And then turn pair is the 5. So what I really like here is I really like leading here because his bet was big, we can get into an uncomfortable spot if he goes big on the turn. But by betting small to mid on the turn, we get him to get suspicious and call a lot of times, but he doesn't raise very much. And even if he has ace queen, ace king, he's not going to raise the turn because he's betting right into a 5, ace 6, ace 5, all these combinations that he's losing to. So anyway, he calls, and then the river comes a 7. We value bet, he pays it off. He checks back a lot of those turns, so we make way more money by betting and betting. So believe it or not, that was the biggest hand I won all day on day one. I'll get into another value spot here. How do you stay humble through all this? When everybody wants pictures, the media's all over you, everybody wants you to wear every pack. I don't even think you have a spot for like any normal clothes.
There might be some more added soon. Yeah, we're going to NASCAR soon.
Woo, let's go!
But everything's great. Life's great. Why not?
Is being busted numerous times, does that help you with being humble, honestly? Being from the bottom?
Yeah, I'm in the business, so you see a lot of people around you. Like every day, somebody wants a loan, or whatever. You see it every day. It goes back and forth. I've been there, they've been there. So we know it goes. It's the poker world. It's a circle.
And being there for people when they're at the top or when they're at the bottom.
I just try to do my best. At some point, you can't. There's so much you can do. You can't bust yourself every day winning.
Here once again we have Ren Mei Lu punting off his chips with a pair and an open-ender versus a made flush, absolutely barreling into the hand. She gets a huge double. Normally punters don't get a lot of airtime in football, but in poker, Ren Mei Lu is getting a lot of face time. Bracelet winner and punter.
I'm trying to explain to you guys, that's the number one earner at my table. He's punted 3 times. The other guy that had results to my left, Constantine, he punted. I mean, it's insane. I've never seen anything like this. The worst main event play I've seen in my life.
Here we go. We got another great punt attempt by Ren Mei Lu. This time he's all in with the king 9 suited. Runs into the king queen and the pocket 9s. Worst spot to be in. This is a failed punt attempt as he runs into a flush and triples up and remains in the turn. Maybe he's going to start playing with him.
Wow. Wild. Last break, 300, 600. I cannot wait to do this hand history. 2 more hours. Thank goodness I don't have to play tomorrow because I'm going to spend like 2 hours just trying to remember these hands so I can run through a hand history of main event day 1. You guys are all going to want to come play the main event if you've never come because you just might end up at this kind of table. Anyway, here's the room. Oh yeah, we got gotta be careful. We got the gong show over here. The gong show. Oh, we got Alex Foxy coming up over here. What's going on? There's our, remember Alex from the interview earlier. Here, say hi, Alex. There's Alex. Okay, he walked by, doesn't care. No, he's awesome. But Here you go. One more thing. The gong show. Ching. Let's go. Here you go. What's up, buddy? Boom. They just follow them everywhere. The rail and the camels. Playing a big hand on the break. It was hard to pick which one of these hands to go through when it came to the punt fest. But this one was Stanislav on my left. And he's playing against seat 1, who I told you earlier is one of the solid players. And I firmly believe that there were 3 players at my table that were genuinely trying to leave. They had some place to go. They didn't think a $10,000 tournament was for them. Ren Mei-Lu, Stanislav, and the gal 2 seats to my right. The rest of us were really trying to stay, and I'll get to that in a minute. The flop comes 8-8x. He check raises. The turn is a blank. There's 2 8s on the board. He bets huge. Seat 1, remember, solid, has chips, has the guy covered, calls again. River is a 5. He goes all in. With King 5, he had nothing until the river. Now he gets a pair of 5s. He gets snapped off by what is obviously an 8 or a full house. Ace 8 for trip 8s. And he's just out of the main event. Just a triple barrel gong show bluff. But this is what we've been dealing with. Meanwhile, it took me 2 hours to win at Showdown, which was fun. The first hand I won without Showdown was Jack 9, defending big blind, flop Queen 8-3, 2 spades, check call versus our female friend 2 to our right. She'd been a little maniacal, so this was a little bit of a crazy play, but c-betting wide here. Queen 8x, 2 spades, we have a gutter, check call. Turn pairs the queen, we lead, check call lead. Very fun, creative play. She folds right away. So that was actually the first pot we won in the main event, was with Jack high in the turn. So, and then, yeah, we went on to have a really hard time winning showdowns, but we did finally start winning a few. I figured it out what it is. This is what the analogy is to this kind of play this one. It's like a cuckoo clock, you know, but it's broken. You know, the cuckoo clock, like it's coming out of the, like it's like supposed to come out like every hour, but it just keeps coming out over and over again. So it's the sound. It's a broken cuckoo clock. That's what's going on with these players. They study the solvers, but the solver breaks. It's like literally in the middle of the hand, and then they're like, hey guys, slow down. It's the main event. 2 hour levels, 60,000 starting chips. Like, just slow your brain down, and the solver doesn't need to work because I think that's what's happening. So all due respect to you players with over $1 million in earning at the table, I think you just gotta slow those solvers down a little bit and remind everybody that's like, hey, we got like a 10-day tournament going on here. Anyway, I think it's a fun analogy. One of the misnomers of people that used to play poker back in the day, where people played tighter, was that you had to play too tight from early position. And as you get to be more experienced, you realize, and you study theory, you realize that we need to be opening up a lot more of our hands from early position when they're average to above average. As you can see from when you don't get cards throughout the day, if you fold all your decent hands from under the gun 1, you're just, you might not run into spots to play hands. So hands that play well from these spots are hands like mid-pocket pairs, suited aces, even hands as weak as like Jack 9 suited, Queen 9 suited, even like King 9 suited, some of the other King X's. And this may sound crazy, but the reason why it works is because people are putting you on a lot stronger range when you raise from under the gun 1. So we have to be raising more of these hands, because otherwise we're losing out on getting to play some decent cards. And we get to rep a lot of the boards because we have a tighter range, so we get more c-bets through it. And it's harder to 3-bet. That's the other piece. It's hard to 3-bet versus under the gun 1. It's just a fact. So we raise pocket 7s under the gun. Comes around to, we get flatted by seat 9. Remember, 2 loose, playing too many hands. Seat 9. This guy was the punter. We're just calling him the punter. Sorry if you're watching this, but he was 1.1 million in earnings, and he's trying to punt. We're gonna walk through the room, past the media, and then I can talk louder about this hand. Okay, so punter. The punter. Hold on a second. We're gonna go. Liam, what's up? Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, vlog.
Hi, vlog. How you doing?
This is my favorite. I mean, not my favorite. One of my favorite poker news reporters, Liam Gannon. Also, he's a singer and an actor back in the day. I don't know if he tells you guys that. But anyway, now we can talk louder about the hand. So, we raise. Punter calls, big blind calls. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about the big blind. The big blind is somebody who's a rec player. He's your classic main event player. He's so happy to be there. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. When he bets, he's going to have it. There was 3 players at my table that were just like this. These are the people we want to play with in the main event because they're not a huge threat because we know where they're at on most hands. So that's what I'm going to say about the big blind, and that's a key thing to take into account on this hand. Remember, day 1, this is all about how do you navigate a table full of people trying to punt and people trying to advance without getting a lot of cards. So we'll continue here in just a minute. Back to the pocket 7s hand. Remember, we're under the gun. We get flatted by the punter, the pro punter. We get flatted by the big blind. Flop comes deuce, deuce, 5, 2 diamonds. Great flop for pocket 7s. We are like way ahead in this spot. We want to get value in. We c-bet. It actually goes call, call. We bet 1,700 on the flop. Again, one of the 2 hands where we actually get some significant value. Call, call. Turn. King of hearts. Now, this is where a lot of people will make mistakes because they have 7s, there's king on the turn. We check because there's an overcard. That king really doesn't connect with a lot of their hands except for the diamonds. And that's going to be, we're just going to have to cut our losses if somebody has a king. So we bet again, 3,300. Punter folds, big blind calls. River is a whatever, brick. This guy's pretty tight. Tight rec player, doesn't want to put chips in bad. 100% diamonds. Check, check, river's a brick. I think it might have been a big card, but he's weak. He's not calling anything. We check. He flips over ace 10 of diamonds. So just about ranging them and making sure we get called. So again, we make 2 pair, 7s and deuces, 5 deuce, deuce, king, and win a decent sized pot, win a decent amount of value. 2 hands we win all day of value, and wait for it, we never made a hand better than 2 pair the entire day. So all the flushes, straights, full houses, quads are all coming on day 2. Let's go. Last hand.
Will be Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Day 2, Tuesday, 11 a.m.
Once you receive your brag, please print your name and your chip count.
Day 1 is complete. Step 1, day 1, we're bagging 53,600, which is under starting stack, but is totally cool and workable. We're going to be coming into 400 big blind, 400, 800. And, today was navigating through coming out of multiple days off and being sick and, navigating through, it was still a long day. Feeling really good about, hands, solid, didn't really make any undisciplined mistakes. I don't know if I missed out on a lot of value or big spots for bluffing or anything like that, but it was, I wish I could have pulled more chips out of that table, but never saw a pair higher than 7s, which is insane. Or, I don't know, I think ace king once, never king queen. It's wild. Anyway, that's how you grind and survive and don't dump chips. here's a Gus. Maybe we can get Gus to say hi to you guys one more time. Gus, what's up, bro?
Hey there.
There he is. He's gonna be the recurring star of the vlog now that we're friends. I missed him. I wanted to vlog Ryan DePaulo on his vlog, but he was too fast. I've been looking for him all summer. We're gonna get Ryan DePaulo on the vlog.
Jeff Madsen.
Talking loud, Jeff Madsen and his friend.
Me, the Prez.
The Prez.
Yes.
My up-and-coming student. He's the boss.
Yes.
Let's go, Prez.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Did we make day 2?
We made that to 73K.
Yes.
I had 30K like an hour ago, so
We ran it up. But it's all about putting chips in the bag. What's the advice to the people at home that are coming out of day 1 in the main?
It's a long tournament, you know. Take it one hand at a time. You don't need to like pre-plan everything. You just need to be focused and take one hand at a time. And any chips in the bag is good. So don't get emotional and get mad at yourself and spew off just because you lost a couple pots. So how much did you bag?
53.6.
All right.
We're in
So
it.
reasonable,
And it's a
yeah.
win.
Slow
All
out
right.
structure. So
What do you want to tell everybody at home?
everyday winning.
Let's go.
Especially today. Let's
Jeff
go.
Madsen, let's go. Long day, but we made it through. Honestly, it was an incredible grind today. I've run through all the hands and I've thought about the day overall, and to play for that many hours, I never saw a pair higher than 7s, and I played ace king once and they folded pre-flop. Never saw ace queen, king queen, ace jack. It was just all garbage hands. And the value hands I did get, there was basically 2 or 3 spots where I got some value out of my marginal made hands, and I made the absolute maximum. And I got away from some really big spots that I should have lost. I'm going to say one more thing about playing the main event, and that's that the more you get to play this amazing tournament, the better you get. And there were mistakes that I made some of the first times I played it that I for sure would have made today. You know, you want to play hands. You want to mix it up. You want to try to build up a stack. But it's so easy to just be technically wrong and to bleed chips. And I did that in the past. I was so excited to play. And I think partially it's because I didn't overthink the stigma of the main. I didn't go down for the shuffle up and deal. I didn't get overly involved in the media stuff. I didn't pay attention to anything. I just went and played poker. And I played on one of the softest tables I played on the entire World Series. So I think just keeping my head down, focusing on the game at hand, thinking about the tournament as just one hand at a time, one level at a time, not getting too concerned about the mystique of the main event and just focus on poker and playing well. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to overstate it, but I'm just really happy with how I delivered without having much to contend with. Because as you guys know, when you play for hours and hours and hours on end without hands and somehow walk away with chips without getting busted, it's borderline miraculous. All right, looking forward to Tuesday. Looking forward to getting a table draw and reviewing some of these badass hands.
Every day winning.